All right, everybody. Very good evening. I'm so sorry for getting delayed for a minute. So we are live now, guys. As always, we are like on time, but this time 1 minute late. No worries in that. Let me fix my mic. So, guys, can you just give me a thumbs up and tell me that whether you guys can see me or hear me well properly, so that I can continue this particular webinar. And I'm sure majority of you must be waiting for this because it's a very interesting topic, that how to come from a non-IT to high-paying data analyst job, right? So, hi everybody. So I got a thumbs up from the people that they can see me and hear me well. All right, perfect. Let's get started. So, guys, this particular webinar we are conducting this webinar to help all the people who are from a non-IT background, but somehow or somewhere they are thinking to make their a career change and want to get a high paying job, but they are not sure that how to get into this tech field if they are from a non-IT background. I mean, like, it's very strange to think that way, that I'm not from a non-IT background, but how can I become an IT professional because I don't know the C of coding? How is this possible? Generally we think that way, right? So we're going to discuss the same with our experts who's going to join in this particular webinar, and we will be discussing how is it possible, is it really tough, easy. We will try to understand from her that is it like people are joining in, or is it just a topic which everybody is just discussing, is it a practical thing or not. So we're going to discuss a lot more things in detail, guys. All right. And for sure you will get a deep down idea that yes, this is doable, and what exactly skills are required, how to prepare, and how much salary hike you can get, how much packages you can get. Yeah, I'm talking to all the people who have, like, either from a arts background or banking background or anything. So we're going to discuss it, and I will make sure that this particular webinar going to be one of the most valuable webinar for all of you. All right, so let's get started, guys. So as I can see, a lot of people are already you know texting and interacting, so I would love to interact with you all. So can you guys just tell me that from where you guys are and what exactly your age, so that I can understand this demographics and get an idea that how exactly there's from which places the people are, and accordingly I'll be driving the conversation. So can you guys just comment down and tell me that from which cities you are, and from which what exactly your age is. I'll get a pretty much clarity. Just comment down, guys. I'm just waiting. All right. So Sayyid is from Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chandigarh, Uttarakhand. Somebody's from Logistic, Noida, Delhi. So almost like all over the India, I can see the people are joining in. That's really great. That's really great that the people all over the India are here. Mumbai is 30. So I can see the majority age group is between the 25 to 33 or 35. Oh, there's one guy for 36. All right. So we will be discussing a lot more things, and we will try to understand that how it's going to help you. See, the people who are at 24 or 23 or 25, they generally have their different life commitment. They have their different responsibilities. They have their different stability compared to the people who are 30 plus. They have their different zone, like they are in different responsibilities and with their stability. So focusing on everything, we will be discussing that how you can make a switch, how it is possible for you all, and how it is safe, how it is not insecure thing. All right, sorry for that. So we're going to discuss each and everything about in detail, and I would request you all to stay till the end because I have an amazing surprise for you all. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you. So stay here till the end. Right now, I'm going to announce in just few minutes. But meanwhile, let me introduce myself. My name is Amir Akhtar, and I'm a career consultant, and I help more than 200 plus people to get a job as a data analyst. Yeah. And all those people were from a non-IT background. So here's a link of my LinkedIn. If you want to connect with me, talk to me, just text me on the LinkedIn. You can connect with me one on one. I can help you with a lot of doubts if you have, and you can send me a request or bombard me with the messages. I would love to interact with you all. So I have helped more than 200 plus people to get a job as a data analyst, and I have total 5 years of experience in the net tech. Now, why I'm telling you about myself? Because as I have gone through these particular phases, as I've gone to the particular people who are having a lot of issues, problems, responsibilities, commitment, FOMO, fear, a lot of things are there where it sounds very easy that okay, I can do a course and get a job. but practically it somehow doesn't look convincing enough. But we will discuss this in detail, that how it is possible and how people are doing it and how you can do it that too. And it is not something which is a rocket science which generally people think, but it is actually a simple thing which needs consistency, not even an intellectual capability. All right, so we're going to discuss a lot more things over here. And as I have already interacted with 200 plus people, so I can relate with you much better. So I can relate with your problems, hesitations, fear of missing out, a lot of things I'm going to discuss. All right, but apart from me, I have an amazing guest as well, so I will be introducing her as well in the coming slides. All right, now in this particular webinar, so we are conducting this particular masterclass to support our data analytics course that we are offering in our Coding Invaders. And that data analytics course is the most popular program in the Coding Invaders, which doesn't require a coding background, and it has capacity to deliver a 93% of the students getting placed in a big company. This is our past record of last 1 to 2 years, that 93% of the students are getting placed, and all those students from a non-IT background and don't know the C of a coding. So you will be getting to know a lot more thing about it and how it is possible. You're going to see that as well. All right. So if I'll give you a roughly idea to the point, this course costs somewhere around 11,490 per month. But if you wanted to inquire, and all the people who are in this particular webinar can say that they are from the webinar, and they can tell that they can avail this 37% discount, and this is only in this particular webinar, and the cost will be 7,199. So the link is given into the chat section. If you want to have a free counseling call, you can get the free counseling call at the in this particular link. The link is in the chat section. Go inquire, have a free counseling call, discuss, ask questions, see that whether it's working for you or not, why it is this much, why this much, and inquire about it, tell about your qualification background and everything. So once you will explain everything, get all the solution, if it is convincing enough, it is justified enough, then go ahead and do for the join the particular batches. All right, so let's move ahead. So all the people who want to get a free counseling call, the link is into the chat section. All right, and you can avail this particular benefit. It is only for the people who are watching this particular webinar right now in front of me. All right, so it is 37% discount in our job guarantee patch. Go ahead. Now, if I'll talk about the Coding Invaders, so Coding Invaders is like a platform where we generally help people to get from a non-IT to high-paying IT background. Okay, and our main mission is to teach 1 million students, and already we have trained 100 plus companies, employees, and on an average, if I'll talk about, our student generally gets 30 to 400% of a salary hike. And if I'll talk about the placement rate, this is more than 90%. Why it is possible? Because we have a very strong network of the hiring partner, because we already train a lot of companies, and their employees get trained with us, so we have a strong network. So if, just like if a one person is studying in our batches, we schedule 10-20 interview call for him for sure. If he has completed the courses, modules and everything very properly, then if I schedule 10 calls for you, you will definitely gonna crack at least two or three. So it is somehow very practical thing, that if you have completed the modules, everything's on time, you can do it for sure. All right, moving ahead, I just wanted to know the intention of the people who are here, that whoever have joined me today, just wanted to know the intention, that why you have joined this particular webinar. So can you guys just comment? There's a poll, I guess you can see on your screen, that why you joined this particular webinar. Can you just tell me? I will understand the intention, that you are just here to listen this particular webinar with no goal, or you want to study and looking for the courses, or it is a third option for you, that you are already studying and just trying to get more knowledge in the data analytics. So whereas I can see in the poll that a more than 80% people are more into, like, they want to study and looking for the courses because they have seen so much, they have observed their friends so much, that they're earning so good, so definitely are taking actions. I appreciate that, and I genuinely value your time, guys. So I will make sure that this session is gonna be one of the most valuable session for you all. Keep your questions ready and everything, because I'm going to pick up every single questions, comments and everything. I'm going to react on every single messages which is coming, right? So guys, stay tuned, turn off your notifications and everything. If your friends have not joined it, ask them to join them again. All right, and let's get started to have a better idea, and we will directly discuss with our expert, and we will try to understand more properly. All right, so what you will learn in this particular webinar, so you will learn who is data analyst and how to become one, and how to build this particular successful career as a data analyst. So all the three major important thing कि होते कौन है, कैसे बन सकते हैं, and how we can also become a successful data analyst. So we were going to discuss all these things, and from very layman language to an advanced thing, so that everybody gets an idea that okay, what the hell is data analyst and why it is high paying and how I can get this thing done. All right, so we're going to discuss this in this particular webinar, and what you will get at the end. So you have the opportunity to ask question to our speaker, and you will get a certificate of participation as well, and you will all get a special offer for our DA courses. But I said that I have an amazing surprise for you all right, so which I'm going to just start right away. And what is that, by the way? In this particular webinar right now in front of you, I am now activating this particular contest. And in this particular contest, which is going to last for only 40 or 45 minutes only, so in this particular contest, there's a link in the chat section. Go register. One of you in this particular webinar will win this particular course, premium course, which promises job guarantee in written before enrollment. You will get it for free. All right, and the batches are starting in just few days. So this is the premium course of Coding Invaders, and one of you who is watching me right now will win this course for free just in this particular webinar, because after Q&A session I will be sharing my screen and you will be observing that I'll be choosing the random winner. So yes, I am starting this particular contest. So whoever have not registered, the link is into the chat section. Go register. Come back, give me a thumbs up, say that Amir, it's done. Just coming down, Amir, it's done. So once it's done, just give me a thumbs up that Amir is done, and then I will move ahead. All right, because this contest will going to end in just 40 minutes, and I will be choosing the random winner. All right, because now we will be going to start the webinar with the guest speaker. So I just want you all to just come up and say that Amir is done, so I can get an idea. So yes, I have started getting the messages. Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. So I can see the people have started participating. Too many. So it's a matter of only 40 minutes, guide. Stay here till the end. Okay. And keep your questions ready. Whatever the questions you have, silliest one, toughest one, anything. We're going to discuss everything in detail. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Let me introduce our guest speaker, Jahanvee Narang. She's here. So welcome, Jahanvee, in our webinar. Thank you for giving your time over here. But I will just pass on this mic
Thank
to
you,
you
Amir,
so
for
that you
calling
can
me.
introduce yourself. Yeah, kindly introduce yourself, Jahanvi. We are happy to see you.
Hi, Amir. Hi, everyone. Hope you are doing well. So my name is Jahanvee Narang. Currently, I'm working as a data analyst at Lowe. I initially started at my journey as an Android developer, and then I transitioned myself into a decision scientist, and now working as a data analyst. Yeah.
Wow, wow, that's great. That's great. So I'm sure that a lot of us wanted to be like this, but it's still like Janvi, we just wanted to relate more with you. So could you please at least tell us that from which background you are, how exactly you came after graduation, how you realized about this data analyst job and everything?
Definitely, Amit. So basically, I'm graduated from a tier three college. So it's not like I was born with a silver spoon of IIT or tier two colleges. It was just a normal tier three college. And I was graduated with just by doing annual development for the entire 4 years. So my main forte was coding in Java and other programming languages. But data analytics is about the totally different field. It's about Python, it's about SQL, and I really didn't had any idea about it. Thankfully, I transitioned myself into the field by becoming an Android developer, and that's how even I approached in all my campus placements. Luckily, I got selected, and that's how I become the decision scientist at Mu Sigma. The major struggle was to learn languages, which is apart from becoming an Android developer. So that was the biggest task because the two entire different worlds are Java and Python, and that was my biggest struggle. You do not come from the same programming background, and it's not easy to acquire, but once you had an understanding of what the roadmap would be, the roadmap becomes easy. And that's how, recently in the past 6 months, I was transitioned from a service-based company to a product-based company.
All right, all right. That sounds so cool. I wish I could have my CV like this. It sounds that, like, you worked into the Mu Sigma, which is a dream job for a lot of us, because it's one of the most reputed company when it comes to
Yeah.
this particular data science. What? Just wanted to understand one thing, that what exactly you like most being a data analyst. Basically, like, what exactly the thing that excites you a lot and which you keep doing it.
I guess the biggest pro of being a data analyst is that it does not require too much of coding. So it's more about like being a problem solver and, daily interacting with new problems and trying to solve that, which does not involve too much of technicality, that you have to be like a nerd and write codes, 9 to 7. I really like my job because it involves storytelling. It involves, playing around with data, it playing around with numbers. It's more about looking at the dashboard and just trying to, connect dots, pulling the data and manipulating that. So that's, the biggest pro of being a data analyst. When I was an Android developer, most of my task was just, debugging the errors, and it was most about writing codes, adding more features, enhancing that, optimizing that. And after a point, you get exhausted, you get drained. So you can't do that for like about like next 10 years. There are some people who do that, but I wasn't one of them. Like, I like this business and the data side, which was not too technical. And as I just said, that it was more about solving the problem and helping the business. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what worked for me, and that's how, I realized that this is something which I really want to pursue.
All right, all right. So just like you said that you love to solve the problems and all, that's why you just came over here in this particular role. So can I just understand in a more basic way that, what exactly the goals and the task of a data analyst, like what exactly the main job responsibility, what you exactly do, and what sort of a task on a day-to-day basis you go when it comes to this particular profession.
Definitely. So, there are in every company there are different domains. So there could be marketing, there could be supply chain, there could be HR, there could be finance. Every domain involves analytics. You would see role
Mm-hmm.
not just based on, just the domain of data analytics. If you go to LinkedIn, if you search for just HR analyst, if you search for marketing analyst, if you search for financial analyst, there are so many roles being created for that, and each one revolves around the different problem solving. So if I talk about marketing, whenever we show campaign to other people, you must have seen on Instagram that whenever you search for something, you receive a ad on the Instagram whenever you
Mm-hmm.
scroll, and
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you. So if you see the ad, it's something that you already want. So it's the relevancy factor. And if you click on it and you process the uh, marketing funnel. So marketing funnel involves the different stages. It starts with awareness that you came across this ad. Then the next funnel is interaction, whether you click on the ad or not. If you click on the ad, you will land on the landing page of the website. So, for
Mm-hmm.
example, you receive a Mintra ad on your Instagram, you liked it. So, you become the part of the marketing funnel, and now you're clicking on it to interact with Mintra. Now, if you have clicked on it, that means that you are a relevant lead. That means you are, trying to buy something, or you're trying to explore that particular page. Now you came to the next stage of the funnel. So that's how, you track the customer journey as well, that how exactly a customer is passing through your website. So it's not about just throwing arrows randomly and blindly. It's about taking decisions based on data. That's how you are going to help the business, by helping them understand what kind of path a customer follows when they go through a marketing funnel, or what kind of path customer, why does the customer even back out. There are so many times that when we add the product to the cart, but at the end when we see shipping charges, we back out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that is
Mm-hmm.
something which business can work on by reducing the shipping charges and see if we get more orders or not. So there are so many factors which we can work on and analyze just by looking at the data. So yeah, these are so many problem statements we solve on daily level.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So somehow I'm getting a feeling that you are involved more into a business decision making thing. Like this profession generally like helps businesses to grow. It is sounding like that because I always use this particular Mintra app and also somewhere I have an idea that whatever I like, dislike, somewhere this data is getting stored, or somewhere this analytics is making some sense out of it, and that's why
Yeah,
they are getting the maximum sales, and we are liking this Myntra app and coming back again and again. I mean, like everybody have their different favorite applications which they like, and I guess
definitely.
they play with our activity, and they store our activity in
Mm.
the form of data, and they make some sense out of it, some pattern out of it, and that's why they keep on recommending. All right. So, you said that earlier you were an Android developer and you shifted into a data analyst profession, right?
Mhm.
So, you are like you are into the IT industry for more than 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, if I ask you that how exactly this field is growing, I mean, you have been observing that recessions are happening, layoffs are happening. So there's a too many myths has came in the people's mind that IT is also not secure or something like that. But if I talk about your own current organization, your own job profile, is anything affected,
Yeah.
or is anything which we need to worry about?
No, I guess if you have seen the trend, mostly the software engineers are getting laid off and not the data analyst. Even from my team, I would speak that, 3 people are going to join my team in January. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not at all about the layouts, at least in my team. I would talk about the data analytics. Yeah, I have seen that the companies have started doing a hiring freeze a bit, but mostly it's around the topics of software engineers or developers because they already have a stacked team and they're trying to get the most out of that. But with the data analytics is a field which has the problems on a daily level and they need
Mm-hmm.
people to solve that because there's so many problems which they are trying to solve. So it's not like I have a developer and he's going to work on a same app, because if I am a part of Mintra team, I know there's only going to be one Mintra app. There's only going to be one Mintra website. I am not
Mm-hmm.
going to create a new website, in next 1 year. But with analytics,
Mm-hmm.
there are going to be so many problems which I have to solve as a part of the Mintra team. So
Exactly.
that's why I would say that if you have to worry, just worry if you're a part of software engineering team, or if you're not happy about the work you are trying to do. Because if you're a software developer or a Android developer and you're not happy with your job, that also reflects in your team as well. So if they decide to lay off, or if they decide the company decides to fire, they would see, or they would pick candidates who does not have that kind of enthusiasm. So it's
Mm-hmm.
always great if you start doing something which you really love, and that would reflect on your work as well. That would reflect in terms of managers as well. And if they see that you're really passionate about the work you do,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't be picked out of the crowd.
Understood, understood, understood. And I guess I totally believe that the layoff that happened was totally a business decision, and it is not something which is a
Mhm.
regular stuff. It was just a business decision which they were handling. Well, no worries. One thing we got an idea that every business needs data analyst, and every time we are observing that new startups is coming and everything. So does it mean that for even like calculating the revenue, or doing some predictive analysis, like thinking about that coming quarter how it's gonna be, or like making some crucial decisions on making any company grow, data analyst plays a very important role, and it also helps us in getting a funds or investment or something like that. Is this something that data analyst also deals with?
Yes, definitely. If you talk about the startups, most of the startups, spend a lot of money in the marketing, and marketing plays a really great role in terms of analytics. Because if you think about the data science involves a lot of time period, to deploy models, to run the
Mhm,
models, and you need a
mhm,
lot of data for that, at least about like 1 year of data to deploy the model and, see the results. But with analytics, you can do that with any kind of data, any sort of data, and you can pull insights out of that. You can simply visualize that in Excel as well. So that's how easy analytics is for businesses. It's not just
mhm,
about deciding which if the customer is going to convert or not. It's also about which customers to target. It's also about looking at the customer journey and trying to understand what kind of customers are converting, what kind of customers are falling back. That's also a biggest and crucial role, especially for the starting the initial stages startups, to not waste
understood.
and burn money on marketing specifically, because 50% of the time they are just burning money on marketing. And if you
Understood.
as an analyst can optimize that, that's great. Because
Mhm,
if you would have seen any for example, cred. there's a great analytics over there.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at growth, there's a great analytics over there. If you look at IND money, there's a great analytics. CoinSwitch, Kuber, they have some really, really great analytics. Ola, Rapido used analytics to, surpass Ola and Uber, which was like great in all the, metro cities. And they realized that the major two wheeler riders are belonging from the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. And that's how they surpass Ola and Uber. So that's a great example that Rapido did that. And it's a startup, right? It was launched very recently. So they
Mm-hmm.
use analytics to realize that, and use geospatial analysis to proceed and conquer that world, which Ola and Uber could not have done that.
Wow,
And they're
amazing.
ruling now two-wheeler world now.
Wow. So one thing is very much clear with your explanation. What I've understood is analytics is something is a gold mine. If this the better analytics we have, the better we will grow in any
Yeah.
profession. And what I've understood with your explanation is in this data analyst profession, you get a lot of data in different format, and you rearrange it and you make some sense out of it, like which we call as analytics, and we present them in a more beautiful and simplified way with the help of some tools, so that the founders or decision makers, business decision makers, can understand that. Because for sure, like a normal people cannot understand that the formulas that you guys use, but to help them understand, you guys use different tool to show them in a pictured format, and they get much better clarity with the analytics, and that's how they make a better decision. Because I was thinking that Ola is only making money, but still some of the other companies are surpassing. It means that analytics is not only helping me to grow, but also showing me the loopholes and better decision making things. So I got it. That was well explained. Thank you so much,
Definitely.
Jared,
Just
for
to
this.
add on
Yeah.
to that, analytics can either help the business make more money, either save
Mm-hmm.
more money, or save time. These are the three things, analytics can help the businesses. And if you can present that in your resume, if you can present that in, your presentation, if you can present that in the interview, that either I'm going to help you save more money, either I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to, make you more money, or I am going to, save the man hours, because that's also very, very required. If you can,
Uh-huh.
prove that with your work, it's you become the center of the table or the center of the interview for that person, because that's what they are looking for in an analyst.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. So one thing is very clear, as because the startups and the businesses are growing, the jobs in this particular profession is for sure going to grow. Now the only problem is the people are not getting skilled people, like the chars are not getting the skilled people. By the way, Janvi, you said that you few more people you're is going to join your team. I'm sure with this particular experience, you must have also taken some interviews as well. You must have gone through such phases where you were trying to just look up at the skilled people. So was it genuinely very easy to find the people who are skilled enough, or is it just getting it difficult for you to, find out the skilled people? Like, would you like to comment on the fact that the proportion that we have, that the vacancies are so much, but people are not skilled enough?
Yeah, so I guess I would touch upon the fact that a lot of people are creating resumes, but they are not ATS friendly. So if you talk
Mm.
about my company or any company, a lot of companies, whenever you post a application or whenever you post a job posting on LinkedIn, thousands of applicants apply that, right? And HRs don't have time to go through each and every application. So your resume should have to be, ATS appliant, where
All
the
right.
JD should be relevant to your resume, and it shouldn't be like you are filling, seven long pages of your resume which does not even is relevant to the JD or the job description of the
Mm-hmm.
company. Then your resume won't even get shortlisted for the further rounds. So it's not even about being efficient for the job, it's also about creating resume, which is the bridge between getting your first call. So a lot of people, I find that whenever they share resume even for referrals, a lot of them don't even go through the job description once, that just let make few changes and just be more ATS appliant. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how you are going to crack the first way to getting more calls. A lot of people message me on even LinkedIn as well that we are not getting calls, and I ask them for their resume, and their resume is plain blank. It's not relevant to the industry. They either have filled their resume around data science as well, NLP as well, some on Tableau as well. So it's not reflecting you as a data analyst. It's like you have picked some chunks of the buffet that, okay, I am
Mhm.
NLP expert also, I am machine learning expert also, I'm data science also, I'm data analyst also, I'm business analyst also. Whichever position gets open, I would use the same resume. You should not
Yeah.
do that. Have a different resume for different kinds of roles. Have different resume for different companies. That's how you are going to get more calls.
Yeah.
And that has to be written on your resume as well. So for that, create more projects, have relevant skill set. That's gonna help you for a
Wow.
longer way.
So I think that Janvi, one thing is very clear that it is like people are not aware of this. What exactly, how exactly it is important, and why people judge with just first attempt that if my CV is not relevant, why I'm not getting calls. So I guess these sort of things needs mentoring for sure. And I have understood one fact that you said about the ATS, which is, guys, just to let you know, guys, that this is an applicant tracking system, because there's not a
Yeah.
human who is just like watching thousands of CV. They have certain keywords which they just put in, and that keywords just find out if it is coming in your CV, then your CV will rank up. So
Yeah.
somehow this is very much important to make a relevant CV, ATS compliant, as Janvi said. You should know that what how to make it compliant. The first hack for this is just read the job description, whatever the tools they need, and make sure that those tools are there in your CV. And that is the first hack generally. So this is very much important.
And
And if
actually,
you
you
yeah.
can use a great website. Sorry to cut you, Amir. There's a great
Mhm.
website, Skill Syncer. So you can use that website. They will highlight what are the hard skills which were missing on your resume, what are the
Okay.
soft skills which are missing on your resume. Because companies are not just looking for a person who is perfect in SQL, who can write perfect codes. They're also looking for someone who can communicate, who can talk to them, who has
Mhm.
done some stuff apart from, being a nerd. So that's also very
Mhm.
important. So it's not
Mhm.
about being the best in the room, it's about being efficient and doing,
Understood.
smart work.
Wow, great. So we got a pretty much clarity, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this good words coming out from Janvi. All the more, I would just want to say that these things comes definitely if somebody will teach you, guide you for sure, and that's what we do over here in the Coding Invaders. That why we are so sure about the guarantee thing, because we know the steps, that what exactly the steps is required, and what sort of mentoring you need, and where you need mentoring, and how you can crack your first call. So we know the step by step procedure. We know that how and what skills are required, and what things should be taught to you, and what things should mention in the CV, how you can crack your first call and get the things done. Because we have the strong hiring partners, active hiring partners, and the strong mentors who are working into the Amazon, Philips, Deloitte, a lot more. So they will definitely gonna help you for that. Now, if I talk about the statistics, how it is possible, how we are guaranteeing a job, it is very simple. The vacancies are so much, and we are teaching only those particular tools which will help you to get the high paying, jobs. So the only skill which is required, like we're not going to bombard you with the 10, 15 tools. We are just going to give you 2, 3 tools which is at least required to crack your first job, and that is sufficient enough to get into your IT job. And we have analyzed 1900 plus job openings and in the market, and accordingly we keep on scheduling interviews for you, because the personalization is required, and that's how people crack the job. All right, so we will be discussing this more at the end of this particular webinar. All right, but I want to tell you that we are still into this particular contest. So whoever have joined me in between, or whoever is just watching me without registering it, let me tell you, just 20 minutes back I started this contest, and in this contest it is going to just end after 20, 30 minutes. And in this contest I'm going to announce a winner who is going to win this particular data analyst course, that too for free, in just after 20, 30 minutes, because the contest is going to end in just 20, 30 minutes. All right. So whoever have not registered, the link is into the chat section. Go register, come back and tell me, Amir, it's done. And once it is done, then I'll just continue this particular webinar. I have a lot of questions to discuss with our guest speaker. All right. So in this particular webinar, after 20, 30 minutes, I'm going to announce the winner by sharing my screen, that who is this particular winner, who got this course, that too for free, and which promises the job guarantee. All right. So moving ahead. So, John, the most important questions that we discussed about the data analyst thing. So, we just want to know that, like, if I talk about my background, I'm a mechanical engineer. right? And I'm not so great in average studies, and I don't know the C of a coding or anything. What would you like to tell me that what skills I need to learn and how I can become a data analyst like you?
Yeah, so the first step is to learn SQL.
Mhm.
It's basically a structured query language. It's very, very similar to how we, speak in English. And it's going to be the first step of becoming a data analyst. 80% of the time, we just spend our day writing codes in SQL. And it's also not very complicated that even if you don't know coding, even if you don't know how to write code in C, C++, Python, still you are able to, learn SQL. It's that easy, right? And
Okay.
once you're able to, surpass SQL, because that's how we are going to spend 90% of the time. So 80 to 90% of the time, just write, just we spend writing codes in SQL. So that's going to be the main priority for you. Post that, either you can learn Power BI or Tableau. Basically, you have to just learn one, BI tool, which is a business intelligence tool, through which you can transform whatever data you manipulate in SQL, so that it can be interpreted in the form of graphs, and you just don't have to look at just rows and columns, because in SQL we manipulate structured data, which is basically rows and columns, and that you can't go through like 900 million rows, right? So it's better that we can
Hmm.
see it in a format through which we can, determine the underlying trends and see how things make sense. So for that, Power BI and Tableau are great BI tools. Apart from that, then move to the third thing, is which is Python. Python is a very easy programming language to get started with. You just need basics of Python for becoming a data analyst. It does not expect you to become like a master. Even I'm not that kind of expert. I hate competitive programming and data structures and all of that stuff. So I can guarantee that it's not being asked even in Fortune 50 companies. I am a part of that, and I didn't write any data structure code or anything to, crack that. You just need the basics of Python, and you just need to, answer what kind of logic is used, how to build logics. Just that would be enough. And then statistics. So, you must have seen a long back a report came that, Google improved the efficiency of the load page of the Google pages, and that helped Google make like billions of revenue. So
Hmm.
that was proved using statistics. So whenever we see numbers on data, we, okay, this makes sense, but can we prove that? So that
Hmm.
proof can only be done through statistics, where we test, where we do the statistical testing, and we create hypotheses, and we test if that makes sense or not, if whatever we are looking at data makes sense or not. So
Hmm.
these are the few hard skills which you should go through, but the main focus should be SQL and Power BI or Tableau, anything.
Understood.
And
Understood.
also Excel. Excel is a very underrated tool. Not every time you have to, create a visualization in Tableau or Power BI. Sometimes it's just like a one-time report. Sometimes it's just a normal ad hoc request. So with that, you don't have to, build the dashboards from scratch. You can just export the data in Excel and, just create a pivot dashboard or a pivot chart to, send it to your senior leadership.
Understood. So one question I have for you that generally people fight for Python and Java. Can you just tell me that is it really very very important thing to fight for, or we can like in the big companies still people are using Python and getting the big thing done?
Yeah, definitely. Especially for being a data analyst, Java don't even, yeah, like no one even use Java
All
for,
right.
data analytics and even for data science. It's only
Mm-hmm.
the fight is between actually Python and R. And most of the companies are using Python because of the, wide variety of libraries it, enables.
All right. All right. So it's still like the fight is between Python and R. So still, what is used maximum times, like Python or R?
Python, definitely Python. It
Python.
has a lot of libraries, even for machine learning and data science and ML ops. So with that, companies have adopted Python, for future,
Oh,
enablement as well, not just for the data analyst, but also for, data scientists and machine learning engineers. So they have just kept like a one source of programming language, which is Python.
and see, another thing I just wanted to ask you that how exactly it is important when you were learning these particular things. You said that you were Android developer last time, and you did already a lot of projects and everything. Then you become a data analyst, I'm sure that you must be learning in a practical way or something. So, any suggestion would you like to give to the audience that these learning should not be a learning, or anything would you like to say that what exactly is required? Like project based learning is required, the practicality is required, or just like a tool knowledge is required?
Yeah, definitely. So if you just go to Google and if you search for, SQL for data analyst, you will see like thousands of blogs, but no one actually mentions like where exactly to use the particular SQL component. Because when you go to the real world and there's a problem, you will get lost. Like, okay, I have already read about it. I know what all SQL components are out there. I know how to write a query, but I don't know what to write for this particular problem statement, right? So it's very,
Mm-hmm.
very important that you, whenever you practice SQL, you practice in such a format that it's very practical. You know what component to use where, right? And where to not use. Even that's very important. Because when you know that this is a particular problem statement and we are going to use where condition, then you know this is for the where condition, right? What all, even if for the, if you have heard about window functions, it's part of the data analysis which we use on like most 90% of the time. Now,
Mm-hmm.
window functions can't be part of group by. That is something I learned after, working on a project.
Okay.
This is not something which was taught to me by reading a blog or something like that. And it's not required that you have to know everything. You can just Google, right? If you have seen, senior analyst or the data scientist, they don't know most of the stuff. They just Google it on the way, on the go. You should just be aware where to use what. And don't think too much about syntax. You can just Google at your job. Even I do that most of the times. So it's not like I have remembered everything.
Oh my God. Okay. Now, so one thing I wanted to know just from you exactly that when your time was there, so how exactly you acquired those particular skills? You must be getting mentored by somebody or help from a senior. How exactly you acquired all these skills? Could you like to tell to all of us that who are from non-IT background how we can learn the way you learned?
Yeah, so for me, I started learning when I was already placed. So it was actually difficult for me to, show up at work every day and not knowing anything about SQL. So most of my work involved actually, looking at the problem statement and then trying to solve. I did actually two shifts. The morning shift used to be for the office, and the later shift was used to be for the self-learning. I went through a lot of resources online, trying to understand how to write code in SQL, and then trying to implement that for the particular problem statement for the work. So that's how I did it. And for
Um,
that, you can always, definitely go for HackerRank. HackerRank is a great tool. If you have just read about like normal SQL statements, they have the great bifurcation of easy, hard, medium, challenges through which you can actually practice it. And a great mind hack is to always create two different accounts. The first account can be for the learning, where you are allowed to just look online and see what the answer could be, because there could be different possibilities to solve a particular problem statement, right? Now the second account is basically your practice account through which you can't cheat. Right. And if you can't cheat, you have to solve it on your own. So even if for the first account you did, Google references, in the second account, it will just challenge and it will just test you that if your brain actually remembered that how to solve the problem statement or not, how to, write the logics. And if you are still not able to, succeed for the second time, then you are able to at least recognize what's the problem, that I'm not able to understand the concept. And then you can just go back, understand the concept, and try the question again. So it's a great way
mhm.
to understand and be aware what are your strengths, what are your weakness, what exactly to work on, and then just move ahead.
Understood. Understood. And the most important question comes in our mind is like, as you were already placed and you were already from that background, so you have that sense in your mind available that now I need to switch, or this is my cup of tea or something. What would you recommend to a person like us who are non-IT background? How we could understand that we data analytics is my cup of tea, or is it's gonna be good for me? Like if I'll say I can make a little sense that if I'm from a sales background or I'm a senior manager or something, I can be a good business analyst maybe because I deal with reports. So how would you give any common answers to us that how we can understand this is our cup of tea?
Definitely, I would like to use one of my friends' name. He's Matt. You can even, follow him on LinkedIn. At the age of 31, he transitioned and became a data analyst. Earlier, he was, a financial sales manager where he used to look at a lot of sales report, P&L statements, and try to understand the financial reports of the company. Here, he realized that there's a few problem statements he can solve, and that's how he got to know about analytical tools, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, and then within like few months he transitioned himself to become a data analyst at the age of 31, which can be scary, right? You've been a financial sales manager for about like 5 to 6 years, and you already have set a bar for yourself that the next year you could be even promoted as the full manager for the company. At that age he took the risk and transitioned himself because he realized that there's a great possibility over there. If you're already from a particular domain, either could be marketing, sales, there are a lot of problems you could see or you could analyze over there itself. And if you can do that, and if you can create projects even around that domain, it will help you transition. So you don't even have to go through a different domain like e-commerce or retail or marketing. Whatever you are doing right now, just use that, because that knowledge is not being offered to anyone else. You won't find that on Google. Anyone can just Google how to become a data analyst, learn SQL and Power BI. But what you are bringing on the table is the years of experience in the particular domain that no one is going to offer. And that's how you are even going to segregate yourself from a fresher, because fresher is not going to bring the experience on the table which you are going to bring. So whenever
Understood.
I interact with people who have like about 5 to 6 years of experience in any domain, I always ask them to use that as their leverage. That's how they can enter into any company by using that as leverage, that they're already bringing so many years of experience, so many years of domain experience, which is going to help that particular company. Because SQL and Tableau are skills which can be learned, but business is something which you can't train anyone. It has to go through with experience only.
Hmm.
So that's
Hmm.
how you are going to bring leverage, and that's how you can even negotiate for a better salary if you're already aware about your self worth. If you're already
Hmm.
aware, what are you going to bring on the table? That's how you
Yes.
are even going to negotiate with HR and hiring managers as well.
Hmm. All right. So now the one question comes in our mind that if I talk like we talked so much of things where we understood that how important this particular profession is, how we can learn this and everything. But here comes a very important question that is there any sort of age limits or any relevant experience required or anybody which you think that like straightforward question to you is in your team or in your company is any of your colleague is from a non-IT background is just sitting next to your chair.
Yeah, 80% of my colleagues are not from the IT background, or I would say from the CSC background. Most of
Okay.
them were from either mechanical, transition themselves from being a BCA student, or even, one of my maths teacher from the tuition classes, transitioned to become a data analyst at
Math
the age of
teacher.
like 35.
All right. And may I know the what exactly the qualification background he was having?
He did, I guess, something in mathematics. I actually don't remember.
Okay.
But he was teaching mathematics for about like 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
and he realized that there's something more he can do. And he realized that during the COVID time when he was sitting at home, and he realized that there's so many opportunities in the data analytics space and the data science. For
Mm-hmm.
data science, you have to be like really good with maths, and that requires a lot of technical steps. So he decided that being a data analyst is a great step, and once you enter data analytics, it becomes easy for you to transition to different field as well. So a
Exactly.
great stepping stone is data analytics, and it doesn't really matter which age group you are from.
Understood. So one thing is very clear that he must have learned everything genuinely from very scratch, and then he got it. And do you have any idea about the packages he got?
Yeah, so he told me that he got 8 lakh
Eight
per
lakh,
annum.
and like he was totally from a non-IT, and he got 8 lakh. And
Yeah.
would you like to throw some more light by understanding that how much time he took to learn all these skills and get his first job? Any idea?
Yeah, he took about like 4 to 5 months.
Oh, only 4 to 5 months. Wow,
Yeah.
that's really very quick. I mean, it is boosting my confidence, by the way. So one thing is very clear
Yeah.
that if we will be starting today itself, and I can clearly see that I will be eligible for 8 lakh or 10 lakh or more than that. It totally depends upon our interview and how exactly we are learning. So, guys, just one thing I want to tell you that we are turning towards the Q&A session, but before that, we're going to discuss a lot more about the salaries. But still, just to add some more pointers by saying that here in this particular Coding Invaders, we also teach everything from very scratch to an advanced level. And the best part is what Janvi said, that more than 80% of the people from a non-IT background. So if they are from a non-IT background, so it means that you can also explore this opportunity. And there's nothing possible which I can clearly see that a math teacher within a 5 minutes is getting a 8 lakh of packages. What if you will learn more strategically and you can get the maximum packages? I will be asking more questions to the Janvi sooner, and you will be observing that what packages people are getting, young people are getting. If they are getting, why not you? All right. So yes, we have one-on-one mentorship. A lot of project-based learning, practical learnings are involved over there. But just to recall you once again, our batches are going to start in just few weeks, in just few days. Sorry, and this is the pricings. And right now, people who are here in this particular webinar want to enroll right away or want to inquire. We are offering a free counseling call. The link is into the chat section. Go register, and you will be straight away getting 37% of fee discount right away. And you can mention that you just watched the webinar and I was the exclusive participant in that, so you can get an additional benefits. All right, so the link is into the chat section. Go have a demo call, ask too many questions and see that whether you are compatible enough to join this particular program or not. All right, so we will be discussing very quickly some more thing about how exactly the career paths looks like, and then we will be discussing about the packages and everything. All right, so Janvi, the one question I wanted to understand, that if I will be joining the company as a fresher, so what will be my coming 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years looks like, that is designation wise?
And definitely. So if you're joining as a data analyst, there's a lot of scope which opens widely for you to, transition and, just climb up the ladder. If you're really from the finance domain, there's a finance team through which you can, become the senior finance analyst because you already bring the financial experience to the table and you already have the analytics experience. So that brings you to the best of the both world, and you can directly transition yourself to becoming a senior, financial analyst. If you want to climb up to the ladder where you want to be a part of decision making with stakeholders and upper level of problems, then you can definitely go for being a business analyst or a senior business analyst where you are trying to solve analytical problems which would be more aligned to the businesses. uh,
Mhm.
and if you really enjoy the field of being even a data analyst, then the next role is just becoming a senior data analyst, solving more problems, writing efficient queries, trying to find the way to make the business more effective and efficient. Post that, you can become analytics manager as well. And if you want to just scale up yourself, go more technical, write more code, and then the straightaway part is becoming a data scientist, or even moving to the field of computer vision. That's also a great path, or be becoming a machine learning engineer. So these are the major future career tracks which you can transition yourself into. So data has like so many roles. It's about
Mhm.
your interest. So once you enter the domain, it's up to you, like where exactly your interest lies. Because wherever your interest lies, you can just transition yourself. If you are really enjoying marketing, you can become a senior marketing analyst. If you enjoy finance, you can become senior finance analyst. If you really like the business and solving the problems faced on upper level of the business, you can become a business analyst. Or if you want to go too technical, you can become machine learning engineer, you can become data scientist, computer vision expert, NLP expert. Like there's so many roles you can just transition yourself into. It's up to you, your priority. And if you really enjoy just being a data analyst, then just become a senior data analyst and analytics manager at the end of the day.
Great. Thank you for this particular advice. We all need that. Now, the most important part is if you could just highlight. I have mentioned some salaries, by the way, and generally people say that I have mentioned the lowest price, lowest packages. But I just wanted to know your view on that. That is, this packages are correct or not? Because I have seen that the junior analysts are starting with 6 lakh, 7 lakh, but your math teacher got 8 lakh package. So somewhere my first digit is wrong. But still, what would you suggest that? A normal people gets, is it a 10 lakh in just a beginning is easy nowadays, or what do you like to say?
See, that depends on what you brings to the table, how confident you are about your skill set, what kind of skill set you are already aware of. So that's also, plays a very, very important role. If you are
Mm-hmm.
able to negotiate, negotiation skills is also something which is very, very important. But yeah, I have seen the industry trends whenever my friends have transitioned, they were earning about like 3 lakhs as a project engineer in Wipro, and they did
Mm-hmm.
transition themselves into Rapido itself, and they are earning about like 8 lakhs. So it's really up to what you brings to the table. Mostly I've seen that mostly the fresher analysts have seen the pay range between 6 to 10 lakhs, depending on what they offer and what they bring to the table, how good they are with the projects and the kind of projects they have built. If you already have about like 1.5 to 3 years of experience, you can definitely expect your salary between 12 to 17 and even 18 lakhs. Even, and it doesn't matter what your past salary was. Even I got about like 170% of hike when I transitioned from U Sigma, because there was a like a fixed pay scale. But it doesn't mean that whatever I brings on the table should vary with what I was earning previously. So that's also very important. And for data scientists as well, I've seen that the pay range rise between the same range. If you're really good, that range can even extend up to 18 to 19 lakhs. And for the senior analyst, you can it won't be like 100% of the hike, but you can expect up to like 15 to 20%. That would be like a industry standards, which can be between 18 to 22 lakhs. For mostly I've seen for Walmart and Target, all of these companies. And even for startups, they have a great budget to fund.
God, huge opportunities. All right, and the last question to understand how exactly to find this data analyst job, like what platform we should use to get this data analyst job and all. Just a second, like yeah, can you please tell us how to find that?
Yeah. So, LinkedIn is a great platform. Glassdoor is great to, analyze the salaries, but mostly it's on a below belt. So always ask for a better salary so that you can get a good pay range. If even if they negotiate, even if you negotiate. Then the great website is Naukri. Naukri is a great, great platform. Just have like a optimist profile, mention all your projects, so that if recruiter goes through the profile, they already know what you are going, like what all projects you have worked on, what are you going to offer, all of that, and it should be relevant to the job description of a data analyst, right? Then Indeed is a great Upwork, and apart from these, also like Highris and Hiract are great platform. uh, you can even apply to about 200 companies at once. So, that's also great. And apart from that, for all the startup companies, Angel List is a great heaven. You can look for remote jobs. You can even look for all those, angel listed startups. And you can look for the pay range as well. And you can directly interact with the hiring manager. You can send a great cover letter note that what exactly you have worked on, why exactly you're trying to transition, why exactly you want to work with the company. That also matters, even if you're not an expert, but if you show interest on working with that particular company, it does matter and it does affect. And
Mhm.
apart from that, yeah, Coding Invaders Career Center, through which you can stay updated about the upcoming job opportunities.
Thank you so much for introducing Coding Invaders is that. Thank you so much. So yes, guys, we also provide this particular services. We help people to get placed, and we know exactly what exactly required and how exactly to build CV and get things done, because CV is the most important thing, and how to optimize it and place it into the right format to for the right company to get the right call. So everything we take care of, by the way. So it will save your time, guys. All right. Sorry for the voice. I'm not well right away, but still, let's move on to the topic. But yes, I want to tell you that we are moving towards a Q&A session, so I'm sure everybody's ready with the questions. But just to tell you more pointers, that we have more hiring partners, we have good alumni network, and people are genuinely enjoying it because they are getting placed very quickly, because they have too many of options. It's very logical that if I'll schedule 10 interview for you, you will definitely crack one or two easily, right? If you have studied well in a correct format on a correct tool, if you have learned, you will definitely crack it. So system and the plan has been made, and it is very clear that one of, like, example was a maths teacher that he just within 5 minutes become a data analyst. So I feel that what else could be the best example for you all? All right, so this is it. So guys, just to remind you before we start this Q&A session, I want to tell you all of you that we are going to end this particular contest in just 20 minutes, and whoever have joined in between, we are still running this particular contest, and in this particular contest I will be choosing one random person in this particular webinar, and I'll be announcing the winner. All right, so the link is into the chat section. Go register and tell me that you're done with the registration, and then after the Q&A session, I'm sure a lot of questions I'm getting, so be ready with the questions and then we will announce the winner. All right, so let's get started. And guys, invite your friends to participate in the contest. I have seen people are winning it for free. This is the course, the most important course of a Coding Invaders, and it promises job guarantee. Don't miss it. You just have to keep listening till the end, and I'll be choosing a random winner. You can be the one. All right, move ahead. We'll start with a Q&A session, and we will just pick up the best questions for our guest speaker, and then we will get the winner list. By the way, so we got the first question, Janvi, from Vihang. I'm a bachelor of pharmacy and on a job. I lost my vision, almost like I guess he's directionless. Will it be suitable for me? I'm 37 from Gujarat. So he's from a pharmacy background and he's confused and he lost his job as well. I'm sure that if he's from a pharmacy, then his background is different and he's 37. Can he still get a job?
Yeah, definitely. Like that depends on like how enthusiastic and how much effort you are ready to, bring in. But yeah, if you are from the pharmacy background, there are some great healthcare industries, companies like EXL, Piramal, through which you have that leverage of the domain experience. That's also very very required for a data analyst. So yeah, if you learn SQL and if you learn Tableau and you can create few projects around the healthcare, you'll find some amazing data sets over Kaggle. If you just go and you'll find healthcare industry related projects related to heart problem, autism. There's so many great pharmacy related data sets as well. Just use that as your leverage and just transition and target more healthcare industry so that for that they don't have to train you on the domain. You already are bringing that to the table and you can even guide them, because a lot of analytics manager over there won't even have great idea about healthcare. There's something they are just getting to know from the company, but if you already have a experience for a longer time period and if you have spent time there, you are going to offer much more leverage instead
Understood.
of going for a retail or a marketing domain.
So one thing I've understood with your answer, Janvi, that it also depends that how smart we are, that we are conveniently putting our irrelevant experience and sounding like a relevant one and utilizing into the
Yeah.
same field and getting something out of it. So it also comes into the job hunting strategy. So it's very much important, guys. All right, and whenever you hire Janvi, so do you genuinely look at the background of the people, or you just look for the what project he have done and what skills he have? What exactly your main focus when you take interviews?
I won't even talk and comment about like what I do, but I have
Mhm.
talked to a lot of analytics experts and a lot of, even my friends and colleagues who are actually analytics hiring managers. So it's, at the end their decision. What they have
Mm.
told me, it's very important that you have like a portfolio website or you have a public profile where you have displayed, because with resume you can't actually validate whatever that person is saying on the table is something he already knows, he has already worked on. So having like a great profile works, and the kind of project you mention on the resume matters really, really.
Understood. Understood. A question
And it's
from
not about
Afnan is
domain. Like it's not about the background or it's not about
okay.
the domain at all.
It depends like how exactly we have learned and what projects we have and how we can justify it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Got it. Question from Afan is, are business analyst and data analyst are similar and how to switch between the two fields?
Sorry.
So may I know that are the business analyst and data analyst are similar? How to switch between the two fields?
Yeah, so it's up to you. Different companies have different Like they just post that we need a business analyst, but actually they need a data analyst, or they they
Mhm.
post the posting for the data analyst and they actually require the data business analyst. So just go through the job description once carefully and try to understand that business analyst, mostly what I've realized, and I've talked to a lot of people and I realized that business analyst role is to solve the top hierarchy problems, but the data analyst is something which is going for a proper particular niche. For example, marketing, it could be supply chain, and then solving problem statement from that particular thing.
Mhm.
So, I gave an interview for a business analyst at pharmacy, and as a business analyst, most of the job description was revolving around how to increase the average order value for the business, how to improve the revenue, how to reduce the cost cuttings, how to efficiently redistribute the medicines in a faster format, because all these pharmacies have some limited time period, right? So if they improve the delivery time, how it's going to impact the business, they do, and they calculate all of that work. So that's how
Mhm.
the work around the business analyst goes around. The data analyst mostly works around the particular domain or the particular niche, looking at the data, and the focus is not too much towards the business on an overall scale.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you for this detailed answer. And last but not least, question from Manjunath Sataputi, that how to get the projects, from where, and give insights about the project. Like if somebody is already learning these tools and they want to add projects in their CV, from where they can get all this.
Right. So I would suggest that what a lot of people make mistake is they just pick a random data set from Kaggle or anywhere online, and then they start creating projects on that. But instead of that, just find a problem statement and then find a data set and then start building project on it, so that it would be easy for you to frame it in your resume using a star framework, that this was the problem, this is how you
Mm,
solved it, and that's the impact it's going to create. Right. So it would be easy for the interviewer also to read and understand your profile, and it would be easy for you to write as well. But if you just randomly pick any data set, at the end of the day, you have no idea what exactly to write because you picked it randomly, right? So if you
mm,
are really interested about marketing, just go to Google and search for like where exactly marketing analytics is applied, in which what kind of problem statements marketing solves with analytics, and you will get a lot of results. Just pick one which suits you, go to Kaggle, and then search for data sets related to that. It could be campaign effectiveness, it could be test and control, it could be a lead conversion, right? And if you're really interested about the finance, you can read about the sales conversion, you can read about average order value. It could, if you're really interested in web analytics, you can search about the web browser funnel. You can research about the Adobe analytics, you can research about how exactly visits and visitors work. So once you have that idea, use the star framework to write it on your resume.
understood. Understood. Thank you so much for this answer. And the last question, where we you talked about Python, you talked about statistics and all of things, so people are quite very nervous. So one question from Mahesh is, how much programming and statistical knowledge or mathematical level is required to get this thing, you know, in our
Just
head?
the basics is required. So if
So,
statistics, you should be aware about what is mean, median, mode, or how
okay.
exactly the distribution of your data looks like. If your
Mhm.
data is skewed or not, just looking at the shape of the data is basically the skewness, right? So the terms, it seems very intimidating, but it's actually not. And there's a great YouTube channel by Josh Namor. He actually
Okay.
explains a lot of, complex statistical concepts into a very instrumental music format. So always go and research for more resources, even if you follow Coding Invaders, and
Mm,
you're following their structure content. And if you're not able to understand a particular concept, just Google it and try to understand. Just don't have that horse eyes that you are just going in one direction, even if you don't understand it. Be open to more resources, just Google it, and that's how your brain also will remember a lot of stuff.
understood. Understood. Thank you so much, Janvi, for this detailed answers. We genuinely enjoyed that, and I hope you can see the comments as well. People are thanking you because they have got an approval now. Their confidence are boosted up now, because every time whenever I interact with the people who are from non-IT background, somewhere or somewhere down the lane, they are actually waiting for a approval from any guest speaker or an expert that yes, you can do it. So one thing I can conclude with this particular webinar, and you spend your time. So one thing I can conclude is from any background, I can become a data analyst. I just need a basic knowledge who can calculate the mean, median, mode as well. And there's no barrier or restriction irrespective of graduation, age, or gender. There's no restriction in that. And the second thing I understood is we have to learn this particular trending tools, but in a project learning based format so that we can justify our worth. All right. Thank you so much, Janvi. We got a pretty much clarity in this particular webinar just because of you. Any last thing before going you would like to say to the audience because they're just genuinely enjoying having a time with you?
Yeah, I would say that always play with your strengths and you run the interview. Don't let the other person run it, right? So if they're asking you what's your, what's the best thing about your resume, what's one thing you would like to talk about, pick something which you really, really enjoy and then talk about it. Try to skip those stuff which you are not comfortable talking about. So for, me, I don't really enjoy competitive programming. So I made sure that none of my interviews, 6 months back when I gave, should revolve around competitive programming. I pitched my SQL skills, I pitched my Tableau skills, I pitched how I actually managed clients and stakeholders, how I garnered Spot Awards. So that's very, very important. And even when I was an Android developer, interviewing for the decision scientist role at Mu Sigma, I made sure that I am positioning it in such a format that even though I made Android apps, I have no
Hmm.
idea about data, but still I'm analyzing, the stuff of my app because I created it from scratch, right? So always play with your strengths. Whatever you have done in the past, just try to present it in a clean format to the interviewer that, okay, he might be shocked that, okay, this can also be done with analytics, right? So just play with your strengths. Try to, sell yourself in a great format, even though the product is not good or you are not perfect. You don't have to be perfect, right? Everyone has some flaws in either way, right? So either master SQL or Tableau and then pitch that. So you have to be, really good with one skill set, which you can pitch to the interviewer at the end of the day, and always play with your strengths. Whatever you have done in the past, try to, form in such a format that you can pitch around the data analytics, and you can present in such a format to the interviewer that they would be surprised by, oh, this is how something can be done even in finance, this something can be done in sales. So even though I created apps, I presented that I did analytics on my app. I try to analyze which kind of viewers are joining and downloading my app. Are they facing any bugs or not? If they're facing, I try to optimize that. I made it efficient. I analyze the review. So that is something which I didn't even knew about back then, that this is analytics. But I do try to, push that to the interview, and that's how I got hired with no programming languages or no skill set of data.
Wow, wow. So it means that yes, it is very clear that we can definitely do it if we have that particular motivation and consistency to do it. All right, then. Thank you so much, Janvi, for giving this very beautiful message. It was genuinely your information was very very informative. Plus, you are very very inspiring for us, and we would
Thank you.
for sure implement all these strategies that you have told us. And yes, guys, whoever want to interact with Janvi, the link is into the chat section. You can interact with her. She would love to interact with you all. Thank you so much,
Yeah, do follow me on LinkedIn. Let me know
yeah,
if you
yeah.
have any doubts post the session as well.
So I'll just putting up the link, guys. Your link is there into the chat section. We're putting in. You can interact with the Janvi. Well, thank you so much, Janvi, for giving your time over here. And for sure, we would
Sure,
love
Amin.
to see you again in the next webinar. All right.
Sure, Amin.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you so much,
everyone for
guys.
joining the session.
Yep, yep. So, guys, I know that you guys were waiting for this particular moment where the Q&A session will be getting over, and then you will be getting to know the winner of this particular contest. So yes, we are now to the point where we will be announcing the winner. All right. So now, as by interacting with the Jan, we have understood there's too many things that we need to focus upon, and how we can do it. The main question comes in the mind that there's too many things we learned and understood. Now how we can get all these things. So definitely, we as a coding invaders, we will also help you to learn all these particular things because we also offer one-on-one mentorship, exclusive career packages, fast track job search, and a job guarantee agreements and everything. So we have those things available for sure, and you can get this thing from Coding Invaders, because we are helping those people to get into the dream job, and it is getting possible because we know exactly what tools are required and what people needs to learn about it. All right, moving ahead, just a screenshot to show you guys that these are the one-on-one personal mentorship screenshot where people are interacting with the teachers on a one-on-one video calls, interacting with the guest speaker in a webinar. So you can have a look at how exactly they're enjoying. So they are the working professionals, some of them are students, some of them are a working professional, but it is not something which it requires a lot of time to do it. 1 and 1.5 hours on a daily basis and it's done. On an average, people are using Instagram for more than 2.5 hours. But now if I'll talk about, then people are just spending 1.5 hours, and in just 5 minutes they're getting the maximum package as a data analyst. So you can also try the same, guys. You can see that it only takes a small effort to get the things done. Try to put your efforts in the right direction and get the results. Here are the pictures where you can see our mentors. And if I'll just tell you that how exactly the personal mentor works, you can see that we have an extra practical session and TOP mentors. We have 7 days week access in the chats and also unlimited one-on-one video call. Trust me, guys. Like, let's suppose if you missed any call, you missed any classes. Let's suppose, okay, you missed any classes and you have a confusion and you are just coming from the office at 7 p.m. and you now opened up the laptop and logged in into the coding invader courses, and then you started thinking that, oh, I don't understand this, how to solve this. You have a lot of questions. You need a people who can help you out. Just make a call one on one and get the things done. Don't you think it is so much flexible and easy to do it? So all the working professional people who are busy after the dinner can continue their course. If somebody's missing the class, no worry, mentors are available. So a lot of things are there. It's like, see, the resources are available. We have hired the people in a different timings. It's you who have to take a decision and go ahead for this. If I'll talk about the live session, some of the people like only live sessions, so we do also have a live session. If you are there, please attend it. If you're not there, you will get the recorded one, or else a one-on-one mentorship is available. Group webinars are there, and a lot other things happens on the weekend, so that you can make your weekends more productive. Now here's an example of this guy. Shashank is a fresher. He's got the first package with the 5 lakh. A fresh mind just got 5 lakh. Trust me, industry is ready to pay, and this has happened just like few months back. So a fresh mind can get this. So what if you guys are experienced and you could implement? You are more smarter than him. You know how to pitch and how exactly to sell yourself. So once you will learn, you will grab the maximum. Don't forget the math teacher, by the way. So study formats are totally different, and it is like a project format. Modules are on LMS, Learning Management System. It's a web-based portal where you will be just logging in and getting things done, and you will be having a Q&A session, group projects, career webinars, and a lot others. So we will be continuing doing it so that you will get a reality check. You should know where you are standing and how to improve it and how to implement in a real life, so that you can make yourself worthy enough for a 15 lakh packages or 20 lakh packages or anything like that. The concept is very simple. We are not bombarding you with a lot of tools to make you a scientist or something. Our main goal is to give you first IT job. We will help you to get your first IT job, and once you are entered into this particular industry, you are smart enough to grow. Come on, man, you are smart enough to grow. You don't need a spoon feeding. Now do this course, now do this course, now do this course. No, take one simple course, learn only the tools which is only required to crack interview: Google Sheet, SQL, Statistics, Power BI, Python. That's all. Practice some interview like a mock call, career development thing like how to make a perfect CV, how to make a perfect LinkedIn profile, a lot of things. Just do like this, and once you will understand the job hunting strategy, once you will do have a lot of mock call interviews and a lot of things will it will be happening, you will be kind of industrially ready, and then hence you can crack the interviews. So if you will practice a lot of times, for sure when you will be just giving an interview, then it will be very easy for you to sell yourself and crack for a maximum packages, because companies are ready to pay you 15 lakh, 20 lakh, 25 lakh, 30 lakh, but it's you how you are actually cracking, then taking the maximum package out of it. All right, so only these tools are required to become a perfect data analyst and to make a perfect career in that. So you will get definitely all these resources. Now just to remind you all, I know that you guys are waiting for this particular moment and the time has came. Just want to remind you once again that we are still into this contest and you all can win this particular the contest. And in this contest, I'm giving you the Coding Invaders Data Analyst premium courses, which promises job guarantee, that too for free. So you can win this particular courses for sure. And I'm just going to announce this winner in just 1 minute. But to all the people who have joined, me right away or in between and don't know what the hell it is, then in that case, I'm going to tell you that 40 minutes back I started this contest, and I have shared the link in the chat section that whoever will participate in just after 40 minutes, I will be announcing the winner. Now the 40 minutes is over, so in just 1 or 2 minutes, I'll be showcasing my screen and I'll be choosing the random person, and he will be the winner of this particular Coding Invaders Data Analyst program, that too for free. Right, so I'll be choosing the winner right away in front of you. Meanwhile, let me tell you some more things, and in just 1 minute, I will be showing the winner. All right, so guys, go just give me a thumbs up that Amir, it's done. Once you will just send me a message that Amir, it's done, then we will definitely, announce the winner. All right, so the link is into the chat section. Go register and just text me that yeah, it is done, and then I'll just move forward and I'll just announce the winner. All right. Meanwhile, just to tell you guys for sure that all the people who have joined me and watching me right away, then not everybody will win for sure, only one person will win. The rest of the people will get an offer also. You have an opportunity to get a 35% discount because we're ending this particular webinar, and it is only for the people who are watching this particular webinar right away in front of me. So the price is 10,750, and the prices for the webinar participant is 7,490. If you want a free demo call, the link is into the chat section. Go register and get a free demo call. Ask too many questions, eat their head, and get to understand that what exactly the problem is, and then understand whether you are eligible or compatible for this, or you can get this thing done. All right, so the link is there in the chat section. Go inquire and get a free call. All right, in this particular courses we have EMI programs. We don't charge any interest, no opening fees, and we pay the interest for you. You can pay in installment, which is easy for you. All right, so not a big deal. Just a second. All right, now there is another opportunity for the people who things that the course they cannot afford and they want to make it more cheap. So you can refer the people, and once you will refer the people, you will get 5,000 discount, and your friend will also get 5,000 discount. If you will refer 10 people, your all 10 people will get 5,000 discount each, and you alone will get 5,000 discount. So in this way, if you are a person having a good network, you can monetize it and you can win it, make the course zero in the cost. All right, fine then. Don't worry, I'm going to announce the winner. Don't worry. I'm going to share my screen now. Just a second, guys. I'm going to share my screen now. Hold on. Just a second. I'm just checking my sheet. How many people have registered? Now I'm going to announce the winner. So stay there, guys. I'm going to announce the winner. I'm sharing my screen. So here's the sheet, guys. Too many people have registered. Let me refresh. Whoever have not registered yet, go please register first of all. All right. So I can see 110 people have registered. All right. So this is the website that I use to choose the random person. So 110. I'll choose the one random person. So let's go. Let's see who is the winner. So I'll just click over here. And it is number 43 is the winner of this particular Coding Invaders. The Coding Invaders premium course that is for a data analyst. And let's see who is 43. And I'll be looking at the Excel sheet and I'll be observing that who is this particular winner. So finger crossed. Let's see who is this particular winner. So 43, if I look at, then 43 is the winner, Manjunath Sataputa. It's very difficult to pronounce, but it's Manjunath. You are the winner of this particular contest, and you won this particular job guarantee batch program of a data analyst, which is given by the Coding Invaders, that too for free. Are you watching me right now? So Manjunath, say hi to this particular chat section. You are the winner of this particular contest, where you are getting enrolled for the job guarantee batch. All right. So if you're here, say hi to us. Our counselors will be reaching out to you and will be enrolling you for our job guarantee batch. And this job guarantee batch, you'll be getting a written agreement that for sure you will be getting it. You just need to complete all the modules on time. To all the people who have not won yet, just don't worry. You still have an offer. You'll get a participation certificate. Avail this offer, get the batch in the minimum price, and see you in the job guarantee batch. I hope you have enjoyed this particular webinar. I hope I valued everybody's time. I hope everybody got the solutions to their problem. But We are always here and we will for sure continue this webinar. So, see you again in the next webinar. Meanwhile, very good evening and good night. Oh, who have joined me? So, let's see who is watching me. अच्छा ये कौन सा है दिखा तो